What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the PHDJ podcast. It's Joe Bunn and Mike Walter, and we're back. What's up, Mike?
How are you, Joe?
I'm good, man. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Ready to go. And what do wait, hold on. Did we take last week off from recording? We did a pre-roll?
We did. We had recorded two weeks ago. Last week we dropped that great one about the multi-op questions from
that was
Kenneth.
good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, we got some good feedback on that.
Good.
Yes, we did.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, so today,
another listener's question.
I was about to say,
hey man, we need content, dude. People ask me all the time, how long you and Joe? I said, as long as we have ideas. So
exactly.
If you listeners want us to keep going, just keep feeding us concepts.
We love it.
Yeah. It is.
It's the same for the vault. Like a lot of the stuff for the DJs.
Of course.
Vault. I mean, I've made hundreds of videos, and every couple of months I'll be like, look, what do you want?
Right. What do you guys want to know?
Right. What do you want to see? And if I can't teach it, if it's about...
You'll find someone who can.
Yeah. MCing, I know people that are much better at teaching that. If it's about making a song edit, I know much, I'll bring somebody on to show you all how to do it. So as always, keep the ideas coming. This one, we almost need like a universal email address for you guys to send stuff to. I was telling Mike, I got a message from somebody. He's obviously going to be listening and be like, damn, I could have made it on the podcast.
Right.
But Joe forgot
How come you didn't mention my name? Yeah.
So I just sifted through Instagram messages and Facebook messages. And
doesn't that just show you, we'll get to this point in a second, but remember, I don't know when Facebook introduced messages, but I remember thinking, God, do I really need this? Is there one more thing? But Facebook messaging has become almost more prevalent than emailing at this point. It's just really so much easier to message somebody through Facebook. So, Mark
But not more
Zuckerberg,
prevalent than, I was going to say not more prevalent than texting, but people with Facebook Messenger can reach you if they don't have your number.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll say this. I'm not trying to squeeze in the fact that yesterday was my birthday. I got more
Yes, it was.
I got more Facebook message birthday hits than texts or emails or phone calls. So that was the posting on my Facebook wall was number one.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
Facebook Messenger was number two. So if you want to talk about the inroads as far as communication, Zuckerberg has done a pretty good job with that.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I texted instead of called. I never know what to do.
You texted last night. Dude, it's all good. It doesn't matter what you do.
It was like, it's 8 o'clock. I'm like, he could be at dinner. He could be getting it in. Like, what's going on over there at his house? I didn't want to bust into that.
Did you say getting it in?
It's your birthday, bro.
Wow. I didn't know we were going there.
I don't know why I said that. It's 9 in the morning.
It is. That's pretty funny. Well, I was actually watching the Mets game when you texted.
That's the opposite of getting it in.
The Mets gave me a nice gift last night. They
Did
swept
they win?
the doubleheader. Not only that, they had a rain out Monday, so they played 2 yesterday, won them both. So
hold on. For a non-baseball, they played 2 full games of baseball back to back.
Yeah, they do that every once in a while. They usually don't schedule them during the season, but there's something called a doubleheader. And it's funny, during the couple years of COVID, they were doing 2 7-inning games, which as a baseball purist was horrible. Right. But yesterday was 2 full. Not only that, the first game went 10 innings. It went extra innings. Yeah.
So what? I'm sorry. This is fascinating. Hold on.
This is not the topic. They started at 3 o'clock. It was game 1. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Joe, if it had been a nicer day, I would have gone out and gotten a ticket but it was chill. I was watching the game last night. It was chilly. It was gross. Yeah. But they played at 3, and then the second game started right around their usual start time, 7-ish, and it went till about 11 o'clock last night.
Wow.
Or 10:30. Yeah.
And then obviously they change out the pitchers is the main thing.
Yeah, obviously. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, like the Mets closer from game 1 didn't even close game 2. They had a different guy close. Yeah. But a lot of the players, a number of the players played all 18 innings.
Right.
Or in this case, 19 innings, because like I said, the game 1 went 10 innings. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
But we beat,
sorry
we bought Randy Bartlett's. We swept Randy Bartlett's San Francisco Giants. So that was nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you gave him hell.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth. But you know what? They still have 2 more games, so the Giants could win the next 2 wind up evening the series. That's right. You can't crow too much. Anyway, we do have a topic to get to. Yes. Which is?
A listener sent in, let me close this, a really good question. I sent it to Mike a couple of days ago. Says, loving the podcast. I listen every week. Thank you. Suggestion for an upcoming topic. I recently won an award and would love to hear any thoughts on how to best use that authentically to increase pricing and improve our image. Thanks for all you do for the DJ community. Forgot your name. Sincerely, you're awesome. We love you. I'm sorry. I got inundated with messages, obviously, that day. But I love this topic, and thank you for sending it in. Well, let me just start out talking a little bit about this, Mike. So it's ironic. I was thinking about this last night because I knew we were going to be recording this morning, and I was just kind of sitting around just thinking about things and started thinking about the podcast and kind of looked at this topic real quick. And I started going back over really almost like the last 20 years, like when Bunn DJ Company started. And I remember going, I've talked about this before, about doing the wedding shows back then, the huge ones, not these boutique style ones, the big dog.
Right.
At the fairgrounds, 1,000 brides over 2 days, probably 200 and some vendors, 15 plus being DJs of some sort. And how we would build these elaborate, just booths and contraptions and just anything to catch attention. Consistently would win these Best in Show awards that were voted on by the other vendors.
Right.
And how they all ended up in a box in my attic 10 years ago when we stopped doing that style of show.
Right.
And I assumed that I tossed them when two men in a junk truck or whatever that company is came one day to clean out my attic. I think I just handed it to them. I was like, I can't think of it. Right. So I'm like, maybe I'm not an awards guy. But then I thought about recent history, right? Randy and I were at a NACE awards thing maybe 30 days ago. And we had, it was my first mistake. I tasked Randy with filling out the application for, let's just say, best entertainment at a wedding. This was a local NACE chapter. And there were only 2 people, and we lost. And I remember...
No, you came in second.
Okay. All right. We were the first loser or second. And I remember feeling super happy for the girl that won. Her name's Udeshi. She's an incredible violinist, much more talent than Randy and I have. But for a second, I was like, damn, I wanted to win that. So I was like, maybe I am an awards guy. So I'm super conflicted here. You know what I mean? But going forward, I do like awards. I do like to be recognized as, whether it's in the industry you and I run in, or locally, the wedding industry or the DJ industry. I do like to be recognized. I want to be recognized. And I think the main thing that we get now, and I say we as an industry or as people that have been doing this professionally for a while, are the wedding wire badges, right? What do they call it? Best of weddings.
Yeah, best. Yeah.
And I get I'm sorry I'm going on so long about this, but I really did think about this last night. I get so upset and so frustrated when I see DJs post that and other DJs under it being like, oh, everybody got that. Everybody got that.
Right.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's because all you follow is wedding vendors. His clients or her clients don't know that everybody gets that because they're not just following other DJs.
Right, so stop shitting on it.
Stop shitting on those people, man. Like, I don't really post them anymore, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with being proud of that. It is determined by, I can't remember all the things, Mike. It's reviews and something else and consistently high score, but kind of talk about that, just awards just across the board, but mainly that. I want to hear your take as somebody that is what we know to be in the top 1 or 2% of Wedding Wire review winners, period.
Right. Well, when you threw this question to me, my thought was, unless you're winning like an Oscar or a Grammy, the media is not going to follow up. You're not going to win Wedding Wire Best of Couples, and you're not going to get a phone call from your local newspaper, but get local media if you try hard enough. And this is where you, Joe, first of all, a lot of it is what market you're in. If you're in Chicago, you're not gonna get WGN to talk about this. But if you're in a smaller market, you might get local radio or local television if you take the proper steps to put some kind of press release together and get it to the right people. And also there's the luck of, I don't know a lot about news, but I know that there are busy news days and there are slow news days. So, if you happen to land it on the desk of an editor or producer on a slow news day, you might get lucky where they go, we got 10 minutes to fill tonight. Oh, what's this? This local DJ just won an award.
He's so right.
Send a reporter. So a lot of it is how proactive you want to be and how aggressive you want to be. I know, Joe, you are a big proponent of Fiverr, where you can find graphic artists who are incredibly talented. So if you don't have your own graphic artist, and you can make up a very professional looking, and I know this person who asked you to use the word authentically. You're not hedging any, you're not making anything up. But if you legitimately won an award, but that award only came with an email, let's say, I don't know, or a wedding wire bet, you can have a graphic artist put something together that makes it look a lot more wow. And let's face it, we all have our own press release platforms nowadays, and that's social media. And you can push that thing out on Instagram, and you can push it out on Facebook, and you can make stories about it. So a lot of and I used to tell, and now I feel like I'm going on.
It, man. This is all of my points as well.
When I did the DJ of the Year competition for DJ Times, I used to tell the people who competed, first of all, if you competed, you were a finalist. And that's what I said to you. You didn't lose that award. You came in second. And you could have promoted that. You could have promoted the fact that Bunn DJ Company was a finalist.
That's true.
For the Best Entertainer in Raleigh Award. Okay? I don't think that's unauthentic. I don't think that's lying. You were. And I used to say that to everyone who competed. So if you wanted to and I would send them a letter. Everyone who competed always got a letter from me a week or two after. And the people who didn't take an award home, I still congratulated them for being a finalist. Cool, so you can, put that on your wall if you want. You can frame that. You can do whatever you want with it. And then the winners, I used to tell them all, man, it is now up to you. You've got this plaque, you've got this, something, you got this award and a plaque. You want to take a picture of it. You want to do a self press release. You may get some local media, and a lot of that has to do with how small of a market you're in. If you're in a much smaller market than New York City or Chicago, you have a much better chance. Just like, you used to land on Raleigh, and I'm not saying Raleigh's a tiny market, but you used to be on Raleigh, the day after the Grammys, was it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they would have you on as a a music professional, to talk about the Grammy Awards from the night before. Now, how did you? Nobody called you, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
It was a cold, blind email. I think it went to the wrong person at first. She said, "I'll send it over to Brian Schrader, who does the entertainment desk or whatever." And next thing you know, he called me up and kind of vetted me, made sure I wasn't a cuckoo, and then I'm on live TV a week later, and it went. I did it for years until
I was going to say, you did that a few years in a row, right?
At least 3 or 4. And then I kind of just stopped. I would almost book myself. Like I'd reach out the week before and say, hey, Grammys
I'm ready.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of stopped doing it during the pandemic. And,
Well, now you have an opportunity to do that on this podcast. We do a post-Grammy show every year, and you probably get about the same viewership that local Raleigh TV
the
WR. Again, not knocking small markets.
Right.
I grew up in New York City, so for me, it's a little bit
Even
different.
my mom would be like, I missed it. And I'd be like, damn, Mom.
If
you're not even watching the
they
news.
were counting on you to watch. My dad used to tell a joke about the New York Mets when they first started. They were so horrible, and nobody showed up for games. And a guy called the box office and said, hey, what time is the game tonight? And the person who answered said, what time can you make it?
That's classic.
Hey, sorry to interrupt our podcast, but I have to share something alarming with you. I just found out that there are some DJs who still aren't using DJ Event Planner. Can you believe it? I barely can. I mean, this software does it all. It streamlines everything you need to run a successful DJ business in one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner is perfect for boutique DJs as well as large multi-ops. Your sales will increase with their best-in-the-business CRM tools and automated emails. And your customer satisfaction will go through the roof as your clients start to use the awesome online planning tools. Best of all, there's no software to install and no backups to worry about. So if you're one of those few DJs who haven't switched over yet, what are you waiting for? Head to DJEventPlanner.com right now and start your free 30-day trial. Go ahead. Joe and I will be here when you get back. So, yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, that's really my best advice is make a graphic about it, push it out there on your own socials.
Yes.
But if and I mean, I guess you could go to the extreme of hiring a PR person or a firm. Obviously, that's going to be out of pocket money. But if you really want to promote the hell out of that award, but then that begs the bigger question, do awards matter? And we don't know that with a consumer. I mean, if you look around, most DJs will tout themselves as some kind of award-winning entertainer, award-winning this. I don't know if we've watered down that word so much that it doesn't. I don't know whether it matters to today's bride or not. It's certainly not a detriment.
Yeah, right. No, it's certainly not a detriment. I think another couple of places that I see those badges, definitely at the footer on your website. I see a lot of people put them. The only thing I would... I don't know that I think it's that important if it's, I don't want to see 10 badges from like 2012 to 2022. It's almost like you
really?
could either...
That's what we do. So I don't
do you really do that?
Yeah. I mean...
I almost would rather see, best in weddings from 2012 to 20... Almost like a statement. And then
okay. Well, good, because that's what I think I do. So you're not saying so the longevity isn't bad; it's the repetition of the badges
of the badges.
I actually like the fact that the badges have changed through the years. So and it shows you how politically correct Wedding Wire. I think they used to call it Bride's Choice, and now they call it Couple's Choice. So even Wedding Wire has kind of gotten a little woke is the word, I guess.
Woke, yes.
We should be more woke. Yeah.
And then also...
Wedding Wire got woke. That's what easy to say.
I do like in your email signature as well. Like I remember us, and it may even still be on there, either Ricardo or Jack Bermeo up there. I was emailing with one time, and it said like DJ... winner of DJ of the Year.
Well, Jack Bermeo was a 3-time winner of DJ of the Year. So, yeah, I mean, that, again, would make sense for him to promote. I mean, if nothing else, promote it in your email signature.
Sure. Awesome. Okay. Anything else about this, Mike?
Not about that, but can we squeeze in one quick?
Sure. Yeah.
So did you see Brad Ford's post this past weekend?
I love this guy.
I just want to tip the cap.
Brad Ford
if you're not connected with Brad, he's Bradley Ford, but I asked you. I call him Brad, right?
Yeah.
On
I call
Facebook.
him Ford. So.
Yeah. Brad's a great DJ, musician as well. Great guy. I've hung with him a number of times, and he and I we have a date to share a tequila sometime this year. I promise that'll happen, Brad. He put up a post. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's quite lengthy, but his whole point was he had a very emotional wedding this past weekend, and he took a picture afterwards, and his hair's a mess, and you can tell how exhausted he is. And he wrote very eloquently about how, as entertainers, especially entertainers who are doing their job correctly, it's not just about the time spent and the energy spent, but it's also about the emotion spent in the job. And it actually made me tear up when I read it because I've been in this position many, many times where you just pour your actual heart and soul into an event because you love your clients and you want everything to go perfectly. And there's a lot of different moving parts that make that difficult. And so I just wanted to thank Brad publicly. I thanked him personally for it, but I just wanted to thank him publicly because that post really spoke to me as a guy who's still out there in the trenches every weekend.
Yeah.
It's hard to quantify what we do in terms of hours spent or, everything else. But when you make the money we make and you care about your clients as much as we do, there's nothing we wouldn't do for our clients. And sometimes that just means at the end of the night, you are just emotionally and physically just spent. And I thought Brad just did an amazing job speaking to that.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and it was a great post, man. I happened to catch it. The picture kind of had me stop my scroll, and I was like, man, what's he going on about? And usually people's attention span are too long to even take the time to read it. But I started reading, and I was like, man, I've been there. I know exactly what he's feeling. So it's really cool to see that aspect or that somebody really spell out the perspective of what people like us feel. You know what I mean? Especially people that have been in the game for as long as we have.
And it's one of the reminders of why I know social media can be horrible and a waste of time and everything else, but it's one of the things I love about social media is I've connected so much better with the number of people in the industry. And I mean, I don't think Brad would have called me Saturday night to tell me this one-on-one, but the fact that I got to read it and empathize with him and agree with him is one of the things to me that can be very positive about social media. So thank you for putting that out there, Brad. Thank you for reminding all of us that got to read it what we do when we do it correctly, how it can be a little draining on us, but valuable as well.
Shout out, Brad. So to wrap this up,
self-promote.
It's still authentic. It's still real. It still really happened. Be proud of yourself. Don't let other people beat you up in the comments. In fact, just delete their comments in case your clients do see your posts.
If you put something out like that up about the bride's choice or couple's choice now, and people do shit on it, just delete it. It's not worth it. And
don't even respond to them. Just they're just. They're either jealous that they didn't get one, or they don't see the value in it, and there is.
I see that all the time. Oh, they only give that to the advertisers. Well, no, they don't, because I know a lot of people who don't advertise who got it. So maybe you find another reason why you didn't get it.
Yep. Awesome, guys. Thanks. We'll be back next week.
But we can tease next week.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. I had a great conference. Do you know Johnny V?
Yeah, I know him.
Outside of Philadelphia. Johnny V called me a number of months ago. Johnny's one of the most positive people I know. He's just one of those super optimistic, enthusiastic. And he called me with a story, which I will tell next week at the beginning of the show. And we got into this in-depth conversation about first impressions. Mm-hmm. And so next week, Joe and I are going to be talking about ways to make great first impressions when you show up at your events and how important they are.
Sounds good, Mike.
Teaser.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Richie
everybody.
Stedman teaser.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao.